Welcome back to League Unlock. Eric and Mark here. The LCS Summer Split coming up very soon, and if it's any indication of what's going on in the LCK and the LPL, it's going to be a wild ride, so it's time to give some preview, some picks for MVPs. A little later we'll get who the three teams going to Worlds from each LCS will be. We're starting off with NA. Afromu, the reigning MVP, who's going to take home the award for the Summer Split. Regular season, I like a guy who was the front runner for the majority of the Spring Split. I'm talking about my man Dardoch. He's toxic no more. He's performed on Echo Fox. Rick Fox has, reeled him in and said, listen, son, stop being an idiot. He stopped being an idiot, and it was a tank meta in Spring. He's playing Sejuani and Zac almost every game. I can't wait to see what this guy can do when he's getting all the resources fueled into him as a Master Yi or some other carry jungler or something like that. I think this guy's getting MVP.
See, but when you're talking about Dardoch picking up all those resources, getting fed, becoming a powerful player for his team, you know where those advantages are all going to go? They're going to go to my choice for MVP. It's going to have to be in the top lane for Echo Fox. Still with Rick Fox's team, it's going to be my boy Huni. Huni is going to be taking it away. I know it's hard to believe that Huni's going to be getting the MVP in a start to the split where you're playing things like Singed and Mundo in the top lane. Yeah, those are not MVP quality picks to take here. But I will say this, and I bet you to believe on this one, there's going to be some Lucian Huni coming up soon. Lucian in the top lane. It's a thing now. We're going to be seeing it. That's my MVP.
I mean, Lucian top in this meta seems like the least crazy thing compared to a lot of this other stuff. But I mean, you look at this meta, it's all about these early game fights and skirmishes. That's exactly how Echo Fox won the majority of their games in Spring Split. So it might sound like we're riding really high on Echo Fox, but I think they're going to have a fantastic regular season, probably see the MVP coming out of there, and then in playoffs it'll all fall apart.
As it did in the spring, right? It's just always
But they did look great in that third place game. Another award is the Rookie of the Split, which last year it was a great race. Licorice looked fantastic. This year, who's a rookie? Well, on the starting rosters right now, there's not a rookie. So I don't know if they just removed this award because there's literally no one you could award it to. But I'm thinking there's someone who's going to come up from an academy team and maybe put their name on this. Dokla even has played 6 LCS games. We got to double check the rules on what Rookie of the Split is because he has played 6 games. But I think someone like Alarim might come up, or Alorum might come up from the academy squad on Optic, and maybe he takes Rookie of the Split. Or I'm looking at Peckinwolf on FlyQuest coming in for Keen, and he'll play some games. He might get Rookie of the Split.
And I think it's important for people to still remember when they're looking towards these academy rosters of who's going to be stepping up and try to get this type of thing. I think you have to remember that Levi, I don't expect to see him right away up here.
Too many changes 100 Thieves would have to make.
Exactly. Too many things going on with the import rules and how things would have to swap around for it. So I don't think he'd be able to come up in time to pick up the Rookie of the Split. So unfortunately, we're still going to have to wait to see the Levi God himself.
2019. Expect to see him somewhere on the LCS, absolutely destroying some people. He'd be fun to watch in this meta too. Nocturne, yeah. A lot of Nocturnes going around, so it'd be very fun to see him. Summer Split means it's qualification for Worlds. I know it's still early, but it's time for your 3 picks from NA. Who's going to Worlds? How are they going to get there, Mark?
Well, I got some spicy ones coming for you right here.
We're going to revisit these, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the tape.
Get ready to flame me later because it's going to happen. Echo Fox is going to be my first pick here from North America, making it through. Rick Fox is going to be super happy with his boys. Dardoch, Huni coming straight off of that MVP performance I'm predicting. It's going to be great.
They're going off points?
They're going off points.
Okay.
Because guess who's also going to be going off points? Team Solo Mid. Yeah, the team that lost to Clutch Gaming in the quarterfinals of Spring Split is going to have to go all the way and win it in summer to get that spot. And I'm telling you, who's going to be up there also at the end of summer, contesting them for it? It's going to be another long-time standing top team in NA, Cloud9. Get ready for it, Jack. Cloud9's going to be there. They're not going to win the split. They're not going to win the split. They're going to make it through the gauntlet. That is how Cloud9 will once again make it to Worlds. Count on it.
You know, the gauntlet is kind of Cloud9's specialty for these kind of things. Yeah. But my picks, I like the TSM. I can't imagine them not rebounding in Summer Split. I actually got them going through the gauntlet, taking down Cloud9 in the finals of that set. Actually, that probably wouldn't make sense. They can't both be in the finals. But I see TSM coming out of that gauntlet. They'll probably have to go through a big run because neither of those old gods are getting there on points because they both got 10 for losing in quarterfinals. So they got a way to climb out. I got 100 Thieves going off of points. That's second place. Juicy 70 points. All they probably really need to do is get back to semifinals, and they put themselves in a very good spot of making it for Worlds. And I think Team Liquid, we've been heavily criticized where we put them in the regular season, in at 5th. I still think they'll struggle in the regular season, but come playoff time, much like they did in spring, they're going to get things back on track and take home the summer split for the back-to-back LCS titles. So Liquid as your top seed, 100 Thieves as your second, and TSM comes in as your third seed. Maybe being that third seed is the secret to getting out of groups. It worked for Cloud9 last year.
It's actually pretty exciting thinking about the North American teams that would be going to Worlds here for maybe one of the first times in almost ever to really think that it is a competitive scene here in North America to try and get to go to Worlds. Now, saying how you're going to be doing on the world stage is a different topic altogether, but I think that the competition that these teams have to try and fight for who is going to be the one to represent your region at Worlds is something to really be excited to watch in this summer split.
Spring Split is the appetizer, and Summer Split is the main course, the entree for all these qualifications for Worlds. It's going to be a hootenanny, and coming up after the break, that hootenanny continues with the EU LCS. Same thing, previewing the MVP. Can Reckless get 3 in a row, and who's going to Worlds from EU? This is League Unlock. That is Mark, and I am Eric. What a great intro.
That's important to memorize exactly what is what, you know?
Yeah, I did a lot of memorizing coming into this one. We're previewing the EU LCS. We already went through MVP and Worlds teams for NA. It's EU's turn, and it's going to be another Fnatic member winning MVP in my books. But it's not Reckless. He's not getting the back-to-back-to-back. Caps' coming out party was officially at 2018 MSI. First, he was 1v1 in Perks in the grand finals in EU, and then he was popping off at MSI. Caps steps out of the Reckless shadow and gets MVP.
Hey, if there's a time for Caps to pick up an MVP, it's after that performance at MSI really showed that he is a top-level mid laner internationally, which is definitely something I don't think you could have said even last year. So it's definitely a great improvement for him to see that. But I don't think that he's going to be picking up the MVP because I have it on G2, and it's going to be my boy in the jungle. Jankos is definitely picking it up. Not Perks, not this time. It's going to be Jankos. He's going to be the first blood monster in the EU LCS this split, getting ahead on these aggressive junglers. That's what I want to see him do, and I know that he's the type of player that can definitely be blood hungry enough to get it done and start pushing these advantages to other lanes on his team and getting G2 ahead. I think that's why he's going to be finding himself as MVP.
And people got to stop memeing Jankos about choking in the playoffs. G2 got 3-0'd, but he looked great. Got them early leads in all 3 of those games. So stop blaming Jankos.
Hey,
he's a great jungler.
Stop the flame.
Stop the flame. Rookie of the split in EU, a little different than NA because there is, in fact, one rookie, Sir Nukes-a-Lot on Giants. He's got the award locked up unless something comes in, but I think maybe it's a little unfair. They should be making a change because Mini Trupax was robbed of Rookie of the Split from his own teammate, Jizuki. Give it to our boy Attila. It's a new player.
New name, new player. I think that's pretty fair, but Sir Nukes-a-Lot, I think, hey, you got to get this one. That's got to be my Rookie of the Split. It's got to be. Hey, if Mike Young can do that in NA pretty much, you got to let him have it here in EU.
But Mike Young was popping off.
That's true.
And Niski kind of gave him a little bit of a fight.
We haven't seen Sir Nukes-a-Lot yet, so we don't know if he might be popping off even more than the Youngle did.
Maybe one of the Young Misfits guys subs in and takes the award, but who knows? It's still not much of a competition for Rookie of the Split. Worlds, 3 teams for EU. Let's rip through it. I'm believing. I don't know how you can go against Fnatic. Pretty confident to say Fnatic. I think they win Summer Split. That's how they're booking their ticket to Worlds. I'm sticking true to my bold prediction that G2 misses out on Worlds. They lose in the Gauntlet finals and don't do well in the playoffs. I think the likes of Splice are going, and it's hard. I'm deciding between Misfits doing a miracle run, but I might actually go with Vitality. Yamato Cannon's going back.
Hey, I like that one. I like Vitality, and I think that Misfits, they just put themselves in too big of a hole here.
They got to run the gauntlet
to really push themselves through to it. But if you're looking at who I think is going to be making the Worlds from EU, it's going to be Fnatic, of course. great run. They're going to keep it going. And I am, unlike Eric, I've got G2 going to Worlds.
That makes more
They're
sense.
winning the summer split for me here in EU. And then, of course, we're going to be having that third place. Who's in third? It's going to be Splice. They're going to make it through Gauntlets. They're going to be the guys there. And I'm excited because I think this is maybe the most depth that EU has ever sent to Worlds. I'm so excited.
Yeah, they legitimately are going to have probably at least 2 teams that you feel somewhat confident in, which, I mean, Fnatic kind of stumbled into last year's Worlds. They ended up putting forth a solid performance, but I mean, they had to go through play-ins. They kind of choked in the 2017 summer playoffs, so expectations weren't that high for them, especially when they start 0-4.
Yeah, expectations are start to where you can, especially when you're talking Western region teams, is where you might start to disappoint yourselves. But I think if you're a team like Fnatic, and given your international showing recently at MSI and how you've been performing on your own region, you have to be thinking, we need to make it past groups.
Yeah, that's got to be their mission going forward. That's all the time for today on League Unlocked. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and Twitter at League Unlocked. Eric and Mark here. Thank you guys for watching. See you tomorrow.